A vast emerald island rises from the Indian Ocean, where life never stands still for even a single moment. In this place, the air is thick with the scent of vanilla and wet earth. Every root pushes deep into the red laterite soil. And together, they form a colossal living engine that helps regulate the climate of the entire region. This is Madagascar. One of the greatest biodiversity hotspots on Earth. A place that sustains countless unique forms of life. Protects ancient rivers and holds a priceless fragment of the world's evolutionary breath. But the same place that gives life also operates by some of the harshest rules in nature. Rain can nourish the forest into abundance, yet cyclones can still bring down giant trees. While drought and predators remind every creature that survival here has never been easy. Madagascar is not just an island. It is a wild, isolated world that is almost impossible to conquer. Madagascar stretches across more than 226,000 square miles off the coast of Africa. Like a colossal living body, trembling beneath the pulse of endless trade winds. For 88 million years, this deep green labyrinth has quietly evolved in isolation. Filtered the atmosphere. Pulled carbon from the sky. And returned oxygen to sustain life across the planet. Here, every canopy is a solar panel silently storing energy. And every root system is a lung driven deep into the ancient soil. To keep that machine running without pause. In the heavy heat, in the veil of mist, and in the rolling thunder of monsoon rains. Madagascar is not just an island. But one of the most extraordinary evolutionary laboratories on Earth. And inside that green body, more than 90% of all species humanity has ever known here. Are found nowhere else on the planet. Still living, decomposing, and being reborn in a cycle that never rests. And the rainy season in Madagascar is not just a stretch of long-lasting downpours. But the beginning of one of the most spectacular ecological cycles on Earth. Here, the trees create their own flying rivers by releasing billions of tons of water vapor every day. Enough to bring rain back to the island itself. When the water rises, the whole eastern rainforest turns into a vast green labyrinth where streams overflow and life surges among the crowns of ancient trees. These rains also carry nutrients that restore the thin, fragile soil. This is also the noisiest time of the year in Madagascar. With a symphony bursting out from millions of frogs, birds, and lemurs entering their breeding season. It can be said that rain is the vital lifeblood that turns Madagascar into a living system able to regulate and nourish itself with remarkable precision. The fossa is the real dark shadow of Madagascar. A predator that gives its prey almost no chance to understand what just happened. It can stand motionless for hours among broken patches of sunlight beneath the canopy. Then explode forward in a moment so brief that death arrives before any reaction. Unlike lions or leopards, the fossa uses a combination of stealth and raw power. With one of the strongest bite forces relative to its size, among all carnivores on the island. Its sleek, reddish-brown coat is not meant to display beauty. But to dissolve its body into the fragments of light and shadow in the rainforest. And while many carnivores avoid water, the fossa uses rivers as hunting routes, silently swimming across currents to reach some of the heaviest prey in its world, including lemurs high in the trees. It lives alone for almost its entire life. Controls territory that can stretch across dozens of square miles. And leaves behind scent marks and deep claw scratches on tree trunks, the way Madagascar marks its own power. In the dark air beneath the dense canopy of Madagascar, the Madagascar serpent eagle rules the sky like a predator with no natural enemy except humans. Even as a giant bird, it can still glide through thick forest canopies with almost no sound. Because of its specialized wing feather structure. The most terrifying weapon is its powerful talons, strong enough to pierce a prey's skull in an instant. Unlike most eagles that usually hunt fish or reptiles, the serpent eagle focuses on tree-dwelling mammals such as lemurs. When it attacks, it dives at high speed, turning the strike into an impact powerful enough to shock and almost instantly paralyze its prey. On branches that barely move within the dark and humid canopy of Madagascar. The injury lives as if movement was never something it truly needed in great haste. Its thick, black and white coat helps it disappear into the moss and shadow. Nearly its entire life unfolds in the trees. Where powerful leaps become a strategy that helps it vanish among leaves. But every morning, the forest shakes with the violent, haunting roar of the injury. The loudest primate call on Earth. The whole troop calls out together, not to attract mates, but to divide territory from a distance. helping different groups avoid direct confrontation. In the dark and humid world of Madagascar, color is not the ornament of life, but a kind of currency used to warn, attract, deceive, and survive. Every shade has its own purpose. Here, blazing red is the code of seduction and connection. Across the vast green ocean, green is the ghost of invisibility. Helping life dissolve into the script of leaves to hunt in silence. Blue and orange are the royal power of warning and extreme beauty. Carrying the hard message of poison and death. Beneath the ancient canopy of the Madagascar rainforest, the chameleon appears like a creature shaped by a magician. With its independently moving eyes and lightning-fast tongue, it can pick insects from the furthest tips of branches that no other animal can reach. With its skin is an advanced temperature control and communication system that changes color in an instant. Beneath that giant world of vegetation, the traveler's palm grows in the relative shade. Its enormous fan-like leaves collect rainwater in their bases. Offering a precious drink to thirsty animals and travelers alike. Beneath that giant world, its flowers are pollinated by lemurs that push their long snouts deep into the blooms. Beneath the dark and humid canopy of Madagascar, the eye lives like an animal that seems to trust only darkness and silence. Even with its large eyes and ghostly fingers, it is extremely shy. Its long, skeletal middle finger taps on tree trunks to find grubs. A unique hunting tool found nowhere else. Amid the layers of rotting leaves in Madagascar, there exists a graveyard of forgotten flowers where nature displays its strangest and most mesmerizing forms. Stepping into this dreamlike realm, you will encounter the delicate orchids with bizarre reproductive structures. Right beside them, the pitcher plants trap insects in their watery depths. And the ghost orchid appears with a haunting presence, like a pure white phantom floating in midair because its entire body has rejected ordinary green leaves. Deep beneath the rotting leaves and damp soil of Madagascar, the hissing cockroach and giant millipedes move like living relics of another time. But the real masters of discipline are the driver ants. Operating like a gigantic industrial machine with tiny strongmen able to carry pieces many times their own weight and marching in perfect formation. Beneath the meeting currents of the great rivers, the Madagascar fish eagle glides above the water like a quiet shadow. But the true heart of this island is its network of ancient rivers, colossal currents that carry water and nutrients to feed every living layer of a green body isolated in the Indian Ocean. High in the upper layers of the tropical rainforest canopy, dozens of lemur species appear like brilliant kings, ruling the green world above. They possess powerful hands and leaping ability, strong enough to cross gaps that seem impossible. These primates are not only agile, but also among the most social creatures in the wild, forming strong family bonds and calling across long distances. Imagine a giant maze of lush green canyons and singy stone forests rising like razor-sharp cathedrals from the earth. Here, you can trek through dry, deciduous forests where ancient baobabs have learned to store water for months at a time. Even more extraordinary, the famous Avenue of the Baobabs stands like silent guardians, their massive trunks glowing golden at sunset. High in the upper layers of the Madagascar forest, the sifaka appears like a dancing white phantom wearing a dark mask. It can launch itself from a standing position and leap great distances across the high canopy. A record-like display of movement in the primate world. Instead of being noisy like many other lemurs, they choose a quiet way of life, like shadows, and remain deeply loyal. If there had to be a superhero in the world of carnivores, the fossa would surely take the top position for agility. Its appearance is marked by a striking coat and powerful build. This creature can rotate its ankles almost completely, allowing it to run headfirst down a tree like a squirrel. Hidden beneath the dark cover of the forest canopy, this intelligent hunter is a formidable predator with a varied diet that ranges from lemurs to birds and reptiles. Once believed to be an untouched wilderness with no human presence, Madagascar was in fact home to thriving civilizations whose ancestors arrived by sea thousands of years ago. They created highly fertile soil and left behind sacred traditions and fady taboos that still protect parts of the forest today. Beneath the flooded plains, shaped by the rise and fall of the rivers, the Madagascar boa moves like a living current. With massive weight and powerful constriction, it does not need venom because it brings down prey with deadly strength. If there were ever a vote for the title of Peace Ambassador in the animal kingdom, the radiated tortoise would almost certainly take first place. They are famous for being so gentle that they share space with other creatures without reaction. When the rainy season ends, the tropical forests come alive with the appearance of the deadly jewels known as poison frogs and mantella. From bright blue to vivid orange, every shade on their bodies serves as a clear warning that even a single touch can threaten the nervous system. Deep in the wet, mist-covered cloud forests of Madagascar, there exists a creature that seems to have stepped out of a science fiction film. The glass frog, with skin so transparent you can see its heart beating right through its belly. The panther chameleon of Madagascar is one of the most dazzling and unusual biological masterpieces in the tropical rainforest. Newborn individuals often appear in different colors before gradually changing into their spectacular adult patterns. Around its eyes and mouth are highly sensitive structures that help it detect prey in the darkness. Life on Madagascar is an incredibly fascinating world where people and nature become one. Today, more than 30 million Malagasy people live entirely by the rhythm of the land and the sea. They build houses on stilts, memorize thousands of medicinal plants, and preserve one-of-a-kind customs such as using forest fruits for body paint and spiritual rituals with herbal teas. Some communities still choose to live by ancient traditions. No matter how the modern world changes, the people of Madagascar still preserve the identity of guardians who protect the green island. Antananarivo, the capital, is a surreal modern metropolis rising proudly in the middle of the highland landscape. But the soul of the island is not shaped only by human ambition. It holds mesmerizing highlights where red rivers meet the sea in swirling patterns of color. Today, the forests of Madagascar are still struggling to hold on to their green heart. The once unbroken stretches of deep green are now marked by scattered scars left behind by human hands. The sound of chainsaws still rises coldly from valleys that should hold nothing but birdsong and the wind. Fires and illegal logging have pushed massive emissions back into the sky. And yet, Madagascar has never given up. Rain still falls steadily onto the canopy and then rises again as clouds, sustaining a relentless cycle of life. The island is fighting to save itself, for us and for the future. Among the dry leaves and heated ground of Madagascar, the tarantula hawk wasp appears like a living warning sign that very few creatures dare approach. Its metallic blue-black body and bright orange wings send a clear message: this is a highly venomous species and should not be touched. The sting brings pain that strikes instantly and so violently that it can cause the victim to lose control. But what makes it truly terrifying is its ability to hunt tarantulas, dragging the paralyzed spider to its nest as living food for its larvae. Madagascar, a place where evolution wrote its most beautiful and strangest chapters, and where every leaf, every call, every leap still tells the story of a world that time almost forgot.